Hi, welcome to Home Ridge Studio. My name is Cheryl and I'm glad you're here with me. Today I have 3 spring ideas to share with you, and I'm so excited that spring is just around the corner because here in Michigan it's been a long, cold, snowy winter. Anyway, I'm super excited to share these easy to make pieces, and the theme is birds, and if you don't like birds, you can just replace it with a bunny or a chick or I don't know, something else. But anyway, let's just get into the video. Okay, number 1. And this is a wall hanger. And if you make it, here's what you'll need. I have this arrow from the Dollar Tree. I think I picked it up last year. I have some scrapbook paper, and these wood pieces are from the Dollar Tree. The clothespins are as well. I have 1 small one and 2 larger ones. The picture frame comes in a pack from the Dollar Tree. So does the jute, comes from the Dollar Tree. And then I have sandstone, chalk paint, and I also have some antique wax. Oh, and I have some flowers, but I didn't use those. I forgot to pull that out of the video. And I do have some ribbon. So I'm showing you how I took that bunny off. I just removed it. It's not super cute on the front side, but the back side can be used on another piece later on, and that would be super cute. So I just took my blow dryer to it and my little spatula thing from the Dollar Tree, and the blow dryer heats up the glue, and then you can remove that pretty easily, usually. Anyway, so I took the arrow here, and I'm doing this on the back of it. You can always put craft paper to hide the writing on the other side. I removed the hanger, and then I just took that glue stick and I put glue all over the arrow, the wood part of it. Now I'm measuring my craft paper because, as you can see, there's lines in here, and I want it to be straight, and I also wanted certain lines, the darker ones, I wanted to make sure they were on the arrow. And now I have my rotary cutter, and I'm just going around and cutting as much off as I can with that, and then I just took scissors to the rest of it. Easy peasy. And now I have a nail file, and I am just going around the edges here to trim up any loose edges. And usually I paint my pieces first, and in this case I didn't even think about it because when you paint your pieces, they can dry while you're working on the other ones. So I did paint this with that chalk paint, the little frame there, and then I went and painted the top of the arrow here in the same color. And now I'm going to take the, I took the clothespins and I pulled them apart. Super easy, you just twist them sideways and they come right apart. And I put them on some tape to hold them still, and now I have the antique wax, and I put a coat on the whole piece, the top, the bottom, and the sides. And then I took some, a wet baby wipe, and then I just, wiped off a lot of the extra. And now I have my distress ink, and I'm just going around the picture frame as well as the whole entire arrow just to distress it. And if you make something like this and you don't like to distress it, obviously just leave this part out. I do a lot of distressing just because that's what I like. Sometimes I go overboard, but it's all good. So now I have a piece of black felt, and I don't know why I'm drawing a circle here. I couldn't even see it. That pencil is from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't work real well on all materials, but you don't need to cut out a circle, just a square, because you're not going to see it because I'm going to glue it down. So, and then the Dollar Tree does sell black felt, but you can use paper, cardstock, whatever you have. I just wanted to make it look like this was the hole in the birdhouse. You'll see what I do in a minute, but I'm sure you understand. Okay, now I'm just going to glue it on top. There's a little bit of extra bubbles of hot glue down there. I had to pick them off or it wouldn't lay flat. That's what I was doing there. And then now I'm putting just a little string of hot glue on there. You don't need a lot of this, or you can even use wood glue. That would be fine too, or Eileen's tacky glue as well. Now I have these clothespins, and I'm just going to make the roof. So I have 2 of the long ones up on top, and then I have the side that's more full of rigids, I guess. That's how to say it. The rigidy side, I glued that upright. So the flatter side is glued toward the roof of the house. And then I did the same thing with the second one. And I have it slightly coming off the top and slightly coming off the bottom just for added interest. And now I'm just removing the extra glue. And I'm doing the same thing to the other side. Now I have the 2 little clothespins here, and I'm just going to finish the underneath the roof there. But I have my miter shears, and I'm not even going to tell you about them because I don't recommend them. They were cheap and they work like cheap miter shears. Actually, they don't really hardly work at all. It wouldn't even hardly clip through that. But anyway, enough about that. I just measured it, and I just wanted a little teeny piece underneath the roof line. And so I just glued them both under there on both sides. And then I turned it around and I put a bead of hot glue around the whole top of the arrow just to reinforce it. And again, do everything to this piece, and then at the very end, if you want to hide the back, if you're going to give it away or sell it, or it just bugs you looking like that, and you don't want to see it, just grab some craft paper and just cut a piece out, glue it on there, trace it out, and it's all done. So now I want this to look like shiplap. So I have a pencil and a ruler here, and I'm just drawing lines from the top to the bottom. And the width in between each one is the width of the ruler to make it really easy. And now I have my finger, I'm just blending it in. And as I'm blending it in, I'm kind of pulling it across the middle as well, just to hide that line so it's not so stark in your face, a pencil line. I just really blurred that out. And as you can see there, I'm pulling it across the middle. And I just wanted to put something across the top there, even though the bow hides it. It was kind of bugging me at the moment, so wasn't sure where I was going to put the bow, so I just took some jute and I ran a string across there just to finish it off. And now I have my trusty miter shears again. I'm going to stop talking about that. I'm just mad. I paid money for them and they don't even work like they're supposed to. And now I got to buy a better pair, but I'm waiting on that. Anyway, I have this dowel rod here, and I just clipped off a little piece, I think about 1 inch, and then sanded the bottom, and then I just hot glued it. If you do make this piece, I would probably use wood glue to make it more permanent. And then I should have painted it before, but it's no big deal. I just threw a little bit of antique wax on it. And I had this burlap left. I try to use my scraps when I can. And so I'm just making a circle. And I have some more jute here, and I'm just going to tie just that together to form a bow. And I just put a double knot in there. And sometimes I'm bow challenged. Actually, I'm bow challenged a lot. I was trying to find the center there. It was not cooperating with me, but I got it there. And then, yeah, see, that makes a really cute little bowl, and that's really, really simple. Just a circle, hot glue it together, and then tie it in the middle, and voila. And I just glued it right there on top. And I have these flowers. I think they're from Hobby Lobby. I don't know why I bought them. I could make them. Sometimes I get lazy and I just don't feel like making more things, like little things like that. You can make loops with string, and that might be an idea for another video. Just a bunch of loops and then put a bow or a button in the middle. Super cute. But that was easy for me. I popped that on there, and that little wooden bird, I popped that on there. Now you can, oh, and I put a hanger on there. Now you can put like a word on there, like welcome. I didn't have one that was small enough, and then my home one was too small and it blended in. But anyway, I love how this turned out. And I put a little like a wicker ball that came from the Dollar Tree on the top of the hanger that you saw there, and you'll see it again in a second. And I love this piece. So easy, so budget friendly, and this can be left out all year. And you could put some flowers on here and or greenery as well. Okay, number 2. And this could be a tiered tray piece or a shelf sitter. And if you make it, here's what you'll need. This was a project started a year or 2 ago that I never finished. So I'll tell you more about that in a second. And these are the barbecue grill pieces from the Dollar Tree. And that comes in a 2-pack. And then I have the bird's nest, and that's from Hobby Lobby, and that was a 4-pack. And then these balls that I used for the topper on my previous hanger, those are from the Dollar Tree. I have these birds, I think I got them from Michael's or something, and then these are from the Dollar Tree. If you don't have birds like that and you want the Dollar Tree ones, you can just paint the beak and cut the tail up a little bit, trim it up, and it'll look super cute. So I have a bunch of this flower sack and that little stub thing there from the Dollar Tree. And these 3 pieces are from American Crafts. They have a vault sale going on right now, and they have some really good deals. So I bought a bunch of stuff, but we'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, I have a bunch of flowers and greenery and twigs and stems from my backyard. And so we'll get into the crafting here. I have this grill tray, and it's very sharp. And I have this piece that I showed you earlier. It's from the Dollar Tree, the picture frame, and I just took out the back of it. I was going to do something else. I started that craft a couple years ago, and I never finished it, and I don't even remember what I was going to do, but it's going to work like a charm for this one. So if you do use this, and I have some tin shears here, if you do use this and you do cut this, be very careful, and please wear thick gloves. This is extremely sharp. I did not cut myself, but I was very, very careful, and it was difficult to cut it without cutting myself. So please just wear gloves is what I'm trying to say. So I cut a piece out to go on the back here, and then I took my stapler here, and I just threw a bunch of staples in there. It was very hard. It took me quite a long time to do it. Some of the staples held it, some didn't, because the back of it here has a ridge. I don't know if you can see it, but I couldn't really get all the staples in there. I had a couple, enough to kind of hold it in place. And then I thought, you know what? I was messing around with this thing for 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm just going to hot glue it. And at the end, I cover it up, because those ends are sharp. I cover it up with ribbon, and you'll see at the end here. And now another thing, I'm just working backwards on this video for some reason. I glued that little nest in there, probably because I was so excited to use it. I'm so excited about this piece. I've been wanting to make it for a long time. But if you do this, put your greenery in first. I glued all my other pieces in, and then I tried to stuff my greenery in and behind, and yeah, that was a feat. I guess I could have pulled that nest out there too, but oh well. And if you don't have a nest, you can make one out of Spanish moss. But anyway, as you can see, I'm just taking little bits and pieces that I have here. I have a stash, and I just pull little earthy type things out. And that's kind of what I wanted it to look like. Kind of like it's out in the middle of the field and there's a bunch of sticks and, you know, greenery and weeds and stuff like that. And so as you can see, I'm trying to stuff all these little pieces back here. And it took a while. I got them in, but it was not easy. And then I think you saw the sticks on the bottom. And I'm just cutting, you know, like I said, I have a stash full of these little pieces and of greenery and flowers here and there. And I just throw them in a box. And I take them out and I use them quite often, actually. So I took the little clip off the bottom of the bird. And here I glued that in and I put one of those little wicker balls in there, and then I'm like, oh, I did it again. So it was a backwards crafting day. So, oh well, it happens to all of us, right? And then I glued the bird in, and yeah, I'm gonna put some more of these stems in behind. But it's okay. It turned out so stinking cute. And like I said, if you use those other birds, I think they're doves from the Dollar Tree, trim up the tail, trim up the wings, paint the beak. You could even add like little dots, and you know, you can paint the wings and make it look like a mourning dove. We have a lot of mourning doves here. Tried to get a picture of one for you guys this morning, but it wasn't cooperating. It didn't want me to take its picture. The nerve. Anyway, so yeah, so you saw what I did with that. And now I have this little tag. I had it in my stash. I got a bunch of them, and I think they were from Hobby Lobby or something. I'm sure you can order them from Amazon. It's a little wood tag. And then I have this flour sack. I used it on another project. I believe I got that from the Dollar Tree. But I showed you I had like a little linen bag. I keep those little things that like jewelry and soap, and if you go to a boutique, they put the jewelry or whatever in those. I keep those things because I use them for things like this. So I just cut a little piece out there. And then I frayed the edges. And now I have these ink stampers here. I wasn't sure. I've never ordered through this company before. I never heard of them until another crafter mentioned it. And I'm like, oh, I think that thing was like either $1 or $1.70 or something. And these little stampers here were like 70 cents. I mean, unbelievable prices. I bought like a lot. Like I need a lot, you guys. I've been yapping about how much stuff I have, and I went and bought more. But this is different. This is different, and I'm using it. So anyway, I had the little hello word there, or stamper, and then the little flower. And to my surprise, these stampers were great, and the ink was great. Super impressed with that. And I believe they have the vault sale, and I believe it's still going on. So, you know, check them out. Don't tell them I sent you, because I don't really know anything about this company and they don't sponsor me. Okay, so I just put the glue stick on there because I didn't want to put anything else on there, and I just tapped it on because I didn't want the ink to bleed. And now I'm just going to glue it on an angle up on top here. And then the jute, I'm just going to glue that on top. And why I glued it on that way, I don't know. I think it ended up looking super cute. And then, so the back now, we're going to talk about the back. So I had some of this ticking ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. I have a lot of it, so I thought this is the one I'm going to use. I don't want to see it from the front side, so I'm cutting it in half. I'm just going to glue it right on top of the edges there, so you won't, you know, poke your finger, or worse yet, because this stuff it's sharp, but doesn't it look so cute, you guys? I love it. And of course, you could put a back on it too. You could put scrapbook paper on the back, or cardboard, or, you know, you don't have to have this as I do, you know, where you can see through it. But and this is such a cute farmhouse shelf sitter. I'm so excited about it. Number 3, last but not least, this is a bird topiary. That's just what I'm going to call it. And this is pretty much all Dollar Tree stuff. So yes, you can make, oh, no, I'm sorry, not the napkins, but they have beautiful napkins there too. The candle holders from the Dollar Tree. This ball is from the Dollar Tree. Nope, again, you can get a bird from the Dollar Tree. I couldn't find mine, but I did pick that up from Hobby Lobby the other day, $2.99. It was 40% off because I thought it was super cute. It was in the kids section. I have butterflies. Yeah, I'm showing you the napkins again. I don't know why. Maybe I forgot that I showed you. I have my barbecue sauce. Oh no, I mean Mod Podge. That's what I keep it in. That bottle is from the Dollar Tree. I have some extra burlap, and then I have a bunch of picks from the Dollar Tree. And I have some foam and some Waverly sandstone chalk paint. Okay, so the Dollar Tree does have a really beautiful napkin. They have them out this year that would be just, I mean, I just had these and I wanted to use them because I haven't used them yet. And the one from the Dollar Tree would probably look very, very similar. So I pulled a piece out and then I ripped it. I'm trying to get the flower in there, that purple flower. And I spritzed it with water because it kind of relaxes the fibers. And then I put some Mod Podge on this ball here. And then I took that little damp piece and I tapped it very carefully onto this ball. And then I took some more Mod Podge, just a little bit, and put it on top. And then I just kept on doing that all over the whole entire ball. You'll see it in a minute. And you can make this as simple as you want, or you can make it as intricate as you want. Now, if you cut the strips out small and it's a very busy napkin, you are not going to see where the napkins come together. So I just put a bunch of purple and pink flowers on it, and that's what it looks like. And I think it turned out really super pretty. And then I took this bird, and like I said, the Dollar Tree has birds. And I have some, but I couldn't find it, so I used that. So I have that chalk paint, and I'm painting the bird with 2 coats, one with the brush, and then the second coat with that little dabber there. Yeah, see, I didn't wait until it dried, and so my fingers pulled off the paint. Here's where I think I went wrong. I wanted this to look old, because you know me, I like to distress and dirty up things and make them look old, vintage. I shouldn't have done that. It was beautiful the way it was. And you know, even though I tried to wipe it off, it's a napkin. It absorbed a lot of that. So, I mean, it turned out very beautiful. It's just that I like the vibrant colors of the napkin. That's why I used it in the first place. So now I did the same thing on the bird here. And of course, you're going to have to make sure that if you do this, the bird is, or whatever you use. You can use a bunny in here. You can use, you know, a chick, anything that you want. But make sure the paint is dry in between all this or you will pull it off. So I think the bird turned out super cute. I think those 2 pieces look great together. The colors match and everything. I just like the vibrancy of the napkin without the antique wax. And so I just took and glued it with E6000 as well as hot glue where the E6000 wasn't. And this is very dry, as you can tell now, because I'm pushing it into that foam. Not really super hard, but just so I can get this center out here, the circle, because I'm going to glue that onto the little ball or the orb or whatever you want to call it. And I needed a flat surface to put the bird on, and I also needed something to poke the flowers in. And this is all nice and well if you're going to just have it at your house, you know, but if you are going to give it to somebody or sell it, you're obviously going to want some heavy duty glue, not even the Gorilla Glue for the hot glue gun is what I'm trying to say. So I made something a few years ago, and it was a big, huge topiary, and I was done with it. So it was beautiful, but I was done with it. So I took all the pieces apart, and so I had all these little greenery picks and the purple picks, and they are all from the Dollar Tree. And they were cut down to the perfect size, and I had a bunch of them because that topiary was huge. And so that's what I'm using for this. And it's kind of big enough that it's out of screen, so I don't show you me placing each and every single pick, but you get the idea here. Put some purples around the whole, some on the top and some on the bottom, some poking down, some poking up around this whole thing, and that's what I did with the different kinds of greenery. And then now I have these very super light purple flowers. I don't know where I got them. They were in my stash, but I know Dollar Tree has them. I have those little ball things from the Dollar Tree. I'm just putting a couple pieces in there, and then I put a butterfly in there. One of the picks that was done, I pulled the wire off of it and I glued the butterfly right on the end and poked it into the foam, and this is so gorgeous. I love this. Oh, I threw a little bow on it too. It's not even a bow. I just tied raffia on the bottom. Isn't this cute though? I put it upstairs on one of my dressers with a picture frame with no picture in it. I'm going to put a picture of my grandson in there maybe. But yeah. And here's the whole shebang. Here's all 3 pieces put together that I made today. And I included some other pieces, spring pieces that I've made this year. If you are not familiar with my channel, and if you're just stopping by or new, I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the other things that I have made. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and it inspired you to be crafty. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and hype and all that good stuff. And I will be back very soon. And until then, you have a blessed week. Bye.